Hey everybody, and welcome to I Got This with Lex and MGP. I am Lex and I've been a personal trainer over the last 5 years. Martha has been my client for 3 years, and over that time she has lost over 50 pounds and changed her entire perspective on life. Join us each week as we dive into health, mindset, and everything in between. Hey everybody, and welcome back to I Got This. Today we are talking about life lessons. I'm pumped about this topic.
Yeah, this should be good.
This will be
I'm
fun.
excited. Yeah.
So this topic is going to start with just everything that we've learned from life and everything in between. And then we'll get into what working out teaches you on a daily basis.
Yeah.
All right, so I get the opportunity to work with people from all different walks of life. As a personal trainer, I work with 16-year-olds up to people. I think my client that was the latest in life that I worked with was probably in her late 80s.
Okay. Good for her.
Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe late 70s. I don't think I've worked with anybody over 80 years old. Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah.
I'm certainly not, so don't look at me.
No, I don't think I have. I really don't think I have. So I have learned quite a few different things, and I'm not going to be able to touch on everything that I've learned, but I'm going to start with a light one.
Okay.
Okay, this is one of my clients. And he teaches me a lot. He's just a character, and he teaches me quite a bit. And one thing that he always told me, he was like, I had a really cool car when I was in my 20s. So one piece of advice that I can give you is do not spend money on a really cool, fast car in your early 20s.
Insurance is going to be high then, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have a lot of friends with, like, Audis and BMWs, and I'm like, how do they, afford that? And it's, like, that's a great way to save money early on. And I have a pretty cool car.
I mean, you have a Jeep.
I have a Jeep, yeah. Like, I probably could cut down on the cost if I wanted to, but I refuse to go higher than that. But that was his life lesson for me. And it's one that has always stuck with me.
Yeah. I mean, there's some truth to that, though. I mean, if you invest that money in your 20s, and you have all that time to let it grow.
Exactly.
Right? So
that's a big one. And then he's like on top of insurance, and he's like, that's one thing that you can save so much on early on. And I kind of, I from that conversation, I decided on a cap, which I probably would not have done because I do like driving nice cars.
Don't we all? I mean, we're from the Motor City.
Yes, exactly.
We can't help it.
Yeah. Give me one of your life lessons, Martha.
Loosen up and relax. Nothing is as important as it seems. There are very rare, true life and death situations.
Yeah.
And in those, I guess, okay, you don't have to relax. But
yeah.
Probably 99% of the time, it's not life or death.
And when did that hit you, do you think? Like, when did that really sink in for you and that become a lesson that you...
Kind of in the last few years. Even at work, I'd be like, oh, I have to get these tests graded today. I have to stay up till midnight. I have to,
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, will it matter in 5 years? It won't even matter in 5 days.
Exactly.
So I think that's kind of been a mantra a little bit lately for me. And I think that's really helped me really reduce some stress.
I like that. Do you remember that it's the saying, it says, if it won't matter in 5 days or 5 years, what is it? Gosh.
But it's exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter now, basically.
Yeah. It does. Well, it doesn't matter. If it won't matter in 5 or 10 years, then it should not matter to you now.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you stop back and think about just about everything that freaks us out in life, doesn't matter.
I actually have one of my stories. I had a final exam at Michigan State, and I went to the wrong building. It was the final exam.
Please tell me it wasn't senior year.
No, thankfully it was only my sophomore year. So I was young enough, maybe even my freshman, young enough to be freaking out.
Yeah, and it's a big campus, fair enough.
Yes, and I went to the wrong building. And the other one, if you guys know Michigan State, it was close to Acres, and the exam was close to Brody. So...
Oh, that's a half-hour walk.
Yeah.
You're strolling fast.
So I was crying, and I called my dad. He's like... said this to me. He's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? I was like, well, I failed the class and I waste all this money. And he said, yeah, you fail the class and you waste some money. And I was like, that's not good. It's not that deep.
No one died.
It's not that
because
deep.
they do that stupid thing where you don't take your final in the building where your class is. Sometimes there.
Yes,
so
that's what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where
is everybody?
Yes. That's a really good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Not taking everything so seriously. Yeah.
Nothing's as important as it seems.
Exactly. Okay, so one of my favorite things that I kind of carry on with life, is a book that I have been recommended to read multiple times from work. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yep.
Have you ever you read that one? I think
It's been a long time, but yes.
Yeah, everybody's like read it once. If you haven't, I highly recommend that you do. But the one thing that I took from that book and really has helped me in my career is people like people who like them. So in all real, like if you feel like somebody doesn't like you, you are naturally just not going to like that person.
Correct, because what's wrong with them?
Yeah, exactly. How could you not like me? But what I think, even in terms of sales, in terms of like working with people, if they know that I like working with them and I see who they are and I see their flaws and their strengths and I still want to continue to work with them and they see that in me, then they're going to like me, right? So every time I come into a conversation with somebody new, my goal is to show them that I like them. Oh, I think you're a really cool person. That's one of my biggest life lessons, especially from that book.
So now I'm thinking back when we first met.
Is it all an illusion?
Selling?
This is a selling, it says. I mean, it's a lifelong book, but people buy from people they like, they know, and they trust. It's not really sales. It's more about, like, I just want to build good relationships.
Yeah. No, I'm teasing you.
Yeah. Give me one of yours.
So one of my things, too, is keeping secrets.
You are a vault. You are a vault with secrets.
I know a lot of people can't. And you know who those people are. I mean, when you have secrets to share, I guess. But, I mean, learned early on that if someone tells me a secret, they're telling me for a reason, and it's not mine to share.
Yeah.
It's theirs to share. And if they say, it's okay if you tell your husband, or it's okay if you tell people, but give me a week or whatever, that's different.
Right.
But if they just say, I want to talk to you about this and I really don't want anyone else to know, but I want to talk to you about this, then fine, I will keep that secret.
I think that is such an undervalued trait or just characteristic that you choose.
Because it's a decision. It's not like it's a talent.
I know, because as soon as you break that trust, though, then nobody trusts you. I remember my little brother told me something not to tell my mom. It was within the last 2 years.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when you were little.
No, and he has, to this day, still doesn't trust me with secrets. I mean, it's not that, but I told my mom. He was like, Alex, I told you. He calls me Alex. He's like, I told you not to tell that secret. And he will take that for the rest of his life. And he takes that very seriously.
Yeah, because you can't put it back.
No, you can't take that back. It's a lack of trust is what it is. Yeah. That is something I'm going to work harder at, because I respect that. It's also respect. Like, I respect so much of that from you. Because it's not even, it's just people's private life. And people don't like when their private life is out there.
Exactly. And I feel like if someone trusts me with that, that's trust.
That's trust. Why would you break that trust?
And I feel valued that they trust me with that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to break that value, if that makes sense.
Yes, exactly. I really respect that one. I respect that about you. Every time I say something that's more personal to you, and I'm like, hey, keep it between us, you truly are a vault.
It doesn't come back to you.
No, not at all.
It won't, because...
Yeah. It's really amazing.
And on the same hand, though, is that something else I've also learned is think about your own secrets before you burden a friend with them. Is it something that, one, if you truly want to stay a secret, you can trust them to keep it there? And two, is it going to cause them any kind of emotional pain or stress?
Exactly.
To have to keep the secret.
Yes. If it's something that would harm like somebody else, or is it actually going to stress them out, that's a really good one. And also, I love what you said. Is the secret somebody I can trust? Because I've definitely made that mistake many times.
We all have.
Right.
And I think that's what taught me that I need to be able to keep secrets.
Yes.
Because was I always this way? No. I'm sure like in my teens and 20s, I was like, oh, did you hear?
Yeah, did you hear about this? Right.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be that gossip? Why do you want to be that person? And that's you truly doing unto others as you would want done to yourself.
Exactly. And I found, yes, you get that quick little high when you're like spreading gossip or whatever.
But then it does not feel good
But
later.
it doesn't feel good later.
No.
But to know that someone trusts you enough to share a secret with you or have a hard conversation or a trusting conversation with you and that you can keep that trust. Yeah. That feels a million times better.
That's amazing that you're able, number one, to have that, just be solid in that. And number two, like, it's just respect. it's just, I think there's so much respect in that. And very few people are actually able to do it. Especially, the other thing is, I train you and your husband, and you know, if there's something, even he and people normally share everything with their significant others. Everything.
And we share most things.
Well, yeah, of course. You're very close with him. He's your husband, and you're very close with him. So the fact like that you don't even share that, I respect that so much. I really do.
Yeah, if you tell me something that's
Brian,
not meant for him.
We're not keeping a ton of secrets from you, but
there just might be some girl talk every now and then.
That's all.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, we were just talking about marriage, and I think I have clients who are in very healthy relationships, and I think that's hard to find nowadays in long-term marriages. Both my parents are divorced.
My parents are divorced?
Yep, exactly. So it's hard to find relationships to look up to. And so I've really looked at your and Brian's relationship as a top tier. I was like, that's a top tier because you just are so supportive of each other. So here's one that you've given me.
Yeah.
Think of the person that you marry as a business partner as well.
Not that it's all business.
No.
But yes.
You should love them too.
Right.
But are they going to be a good business partner as well?
I mean, yes, Brian and I have been married 29 years already.
Yeah.
And we were married young. So, you know, I was a child bride, clearly.
Clearly.
But anyway, that one decision, when you think about the decision of who your life mate's going to be, that probably impacts like 90% of your life.
Yeah.
Whether it's miserable or happy, to be honest.
Yes.
Not that I count on Brian to be, you know, the source of all my happiness. I don't mean that. But yes, we have to agree on a lot of things. Not just, oh, we're in love, let's get married. I mean, there's got to be financial decisions have to be made together. Where, you know, bringing children into the world and then raising them together. And we came from different, you know, households with different, you know, maybe, you know, rules or different standards growing up. So you have to merge all that together. Simple things as far as where are we going to live? I mean, after we first got married, we were both had job offers in different states. I mean, what, you know, all those things have to be decided and you have to decide. And yes, is there some negotiating that happens? 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you know, sometimes, and everyone's always like, oh, it's 50-50. And I think I've told you this. It's not 50-50. It's never 50-50. In fact, sometimes it's 70-30. And then it flips and then it's 80-20 the other way.
Yeah.
And it just really depends on the week, the day, the month. I mean, and what's going on. And sometimes you're both giving 60%.
Right. And I think one of the things that I love is when you both made a decision to be better. You made that decision together. You both started working out. You both started training. You both started that journey together.
We did.
And he has supported you in everything that you've wanted to do in terms, like, the amount of things you've changed so tremendously.
Right.
And he supported you, and you've supported him. And of course, there's going to be, you know, little give and takes.
Sure.
Of what you're willing, like, you know, he's not going to do everything you want to do and you're not going to do everything he wants to do. But the fact that support is there is absolutely unbelievable to me. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's been huge. It would be very hard to do that journey without that support.
I have a lot of clients and I mean, it's very, I don't see a ton of people that are in such a supportive relationship as you two are. And it's really...
Well, we genuinely have fun together.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you train us both simultaneously sometimes.
You guys kill me. Sometimes you guys are having too good of a time and I gotta be like, yo, calm down over there. Hey, chill out.
But, you know...
But that's a good one.
And that's the thing. We still enjoy actually doing things together and being together. And, you know, so that's
I mean,
huge.
that's a big part.
It is a huge part,
I'm sure you can't force that. And there are reasons relationships end, but... I feel like
it's not always just about romantic love. I mean, we're actually friends too.
Yeah.
In fact, we were friends for a couple years before we ever even dated.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge too, because I knew him just as the guy across the street, kind of.
Yeah. So. I think it's really important, and I love that you say it is one of the biggest decisions you make. And
it's probably the biggest decision.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, think about it. I can't think of anything that.
that
would have impacted my life more.
Exactly. It truly impacted your life every single day for the rest of your life. That's a good one. Okay, let's move on to another one. Give me one of your life lessons.
So one that I've really taken to heart in the last year and a half is being, well, maybe even a little bit longer than that, but being bold and courageous. I used to be afraid to do some things. I've decided that I don't want to get to the end of my life, which hopefully is still far away, and look back and regret things, because I think you're going to regret things that you didn't do more than things you did do.
Yes. Yes. Isn't that what they say in those like nursing home videos? It's like you will regret the things that you didn't do, not the things that you did
Exactly.
do. Yeah.
And so being brave, or being, I know, we've talked about like our personal words, and how my word is fearless.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that I'm without fear. That does not mean that. I'm scared to death to do some things.
Yeah.
But fearless meaning I'm going to be brave and courageous and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of these lessons of my own and what I want to be able to try to do and accomplish and experience.
I love that. I think when I first, actually when I was interviewing at my current job, one of my interview questions was, what is your biggest fear? And my answer, and I'll never forget this, was not doing all the things that I would like to do in this life.
Yep. And that's where I'm at too.
I get it. And that's a life lesson. If you want to do it, just go for it.
Yep.
It's not just going back to one of your earlier lessons is it's not that deep.
It's not life or death.
It's not.
Yeah. I was just telling you before we started recording, over the weekend, someone said to me, I can't believe you're doing this podcast. Aren't you like afraid of what people will think? Or that takes a lot of, guts to do that or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, what does it matter?
Who cares?
People will listen or they won't.
Yeah. You don't
just
listen,
me and Lex having a little chat.
And we're just chit-chatting, hanging out, really.
On mics.
Yes.
Really not different than what we would do without them.
I like that. Going on that topic, give me like two things. Just two things. I mean, you've done a lot of things on your list of like, I want to. So give me two things on yours.
Still on my to-do?
Yeah.
Somehow my daughter has talked me into skydiving this year, and I think we talked about that on an earlier episode.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet.
Yep.
But that'll be probably this spring. Yikes. So back to that without fear. I'm not saying I'm not going to be scared.
You're going to have the best time.
But it'll be fine.
You're going to have the best time. You're going to do it, and you're going to be like, I thought I was scared of that. You're not. You're just going to...
I've probably done scarier things.
You've done way scarier things. I guarantee
you.
it.
The thought of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It sounds scary, but it's really not.
It'll be fine. So yeah, that's definitely one. There's some places I'd like to travel to.
Right.
And so it's a little bit still difficult. It's getting a little easier, I guess, with the pandemic being lifted. But, I definitely would like to go to like Africa on a safari at some point.
Yeah.
I love me some giraffes. Got to go see some.
I love that. I think a lot of people's like to-dos are traveling. And it's hard to do if you don't start like earlier.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of my generation for doing that. Like, a lot of them are traveling very young.
Yeah.
And
I've traveled a lot through like Europe and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't gone to like Africa yet or even South America.
Sometimes you tell me somewhere you've been. I'm like, oh, you've been there? What? That's so cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Exactly. So that's kind of more of a far-fetched one, I guess.
I like that one.
But it would be fun to do. Yeah.
Cool. That's a good one. Okay. I'm going to give you...
Well, I'm going to turn the tables now.
Okay. Oh. What are my...
Why do I have to throw out my my adventures?
Solid point. I quickly transition. Quickly pivot. Okay, next topic. So what was it? Two things that I would like to do.
Yeah, on your to-do list. For fun.
Yeah.
Or not, I guess. Doesn't have to be fun.
A lot of mine are career-based.
Yeah.
And I know I'm the one that's been putting off talking about our 2022 goals. Every time you bring it up, I'm like, yeah, no, not yet. I'm actually self-conscious about bringing it up because I'm afraid of not achieving them.
It's not life or death.
It's true. It's not life or death. It's not.
You should shoot your goals to be high. Because guess what? Even if your goals are high, I remember this was maybe my grandmother that said this. If your goals are high and you miss, you're still higher up than most people.
Boom. Yeah. And higher up than you would have if you didn't shoot. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Or shoot for the stars, maybe you'll at least hit the moon. Isn't that
That's the one.
The phrase?
Shoot for the stars.
Or something like that. That's always in those
I feel like we're in the most motivational episode. Like just cheesy quotes episode.
I'll try to conjure up some more cliches while you go.
Two things I definitely want to do. One fun one is I want to go heli skiing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's when you like jump out of the plane onto the mountain. Hell yeah.
I've been in a helicopter and I've been skiing, not together.
I want to combo those two. Combo
check them both off.
Yep. And then I don't know. I think the biggest thing is with my career. I want to hit every basis. I think I mean like podcasting. I think I mean like large group training. I think I mean virtual training. And I really want to help the actual, like when I say not as many people as I can, I mean I want to impact so many people. Like I really do. I really do. And that's my biggest thing. Like I just don't want to leave any stone unturned.
All right.
Kind of.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
We'll come back and do more specifics later.
You're like, that was so vague.
No, I know what you're saying.
You get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Martha, give me another life lesson of yours.
So I'm at a point now where I've decided that I will give people second chances. Everyone always deserves a second chance.
Right.
But I'm not always giving you a third chance, and certainly not a fourth chance.
Wow, yeah.
So I have really learned in the last few years who my like real friends are and who my inner circle truly is. And of course those people, but they're probably not needing a third and fourth chance.
No.
Let's be honest.
They do not deserve that many chances. That's a hard one. When people who have been in your life for years on end and you love them and they're just like cemented into your life and then they hurt you continuously. But it is more peripheral.
That's what I'm talking about.
People, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's coworkers. You know, I have to see you still, but I don't have to invite you into my world.
It's picking your circle and picking that circle so wisely. It's picking the people who you trust.
Yep.
Picking the people who you know won't hurt you, and the mindset that they give to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and this ties back to even some of our earlier episodes.
Yeah. It does. If you haven't, please go listen.
But I mean, and maybe that is something we should talk about in a future one is you know, kind of creating your inner circle and knowing who those people are.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that.
Because honestly, you will be a lot happier.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to get rid of negative energy and negative people. And it's hard to limit it with people that you're very close to and you love so much, too.
But it feels good, too, at the same time.
Exactly. Setting boundaries feels like powerful. Because it is powerful. I do want to talk about one hard life lesson. This one took me a while to learn, and I feel like I'm not the only one. I started working. I mean, I started working at like 14.
Right.
But who saves money?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't.
Yeah.
Right? And
well,
then,
minimum wage job, probably.
Yeah, like, I worked every day. Like, I worked 14 until I graduated college, right? Always had a different odd job. After college, I worked for like 2 or 3 years, and I never saved a penny. I didn't save a dime, Martha. And it's just, I truly feel like nobody taught me how to do that. And it's not, I think my parents honestly probably tried, and I just like didn't really care.
Yeah, I'm 20. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. And then one day I like thought about it. I was like, wait, what if I saved? Whoa, wait, I don't have a penny to my name. And over the last few years, my wealth has exponentially increased. But I think one of the biggest life lessons is learning how to manage your money early in life. And a lot of my clients have talked to me about that type of thing. And not just manage your money, not just save, because that was one thing I was always told to do. Just save. Well, guess what? Saving your money is sitting in a bank.
Yeah, no, you've got to do something with it.
Yeah, but that's not taught. Like, I do hope our younger audience is listening, because nobody taught me that.
Yeah.
Like,
and frankly, I mean, not that you want to think about retirement, but if you're saving for that now,
yeah,
you won't have to worry about it.
Exactly. So I started, I literally I'm about to max out my Roth IRA, right? So that's awesome for this year. But it's that I think is a big life lesson, and I think being around a lot of clients who have been there and done that, they have really drilled that into me. Yeah.
No, we've actually talked about that. I know.
Oh,
we
yeah.
Yeah.
I ask a lot of questions now, too. I ask your husband tons. I ask you tons. I'm like, wait, so you're telling me... And I don't know if he likes it, but I sometimes use our entire session. I'm like, wait, but if I do this, how will it affect that?
Yeah. Well, you're learning. I mean, now you have a house and you've got all those responsibilities, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With that brings some adulting.
Exactly. And I'm not even that young. I am 26. That's not even like I'm 22. I'm not that young. But I do feel like I didn't look for the tools, but now I have them. So that's a big life lesson.
Yeah.
You give me one.
Kind of goes back to the fearless thing, though. But I've also learned that you need to sometimes just be brave. And if you're not, just pretend to be. No one's going to be able to tell the difference.
Fake it.
So fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Let's go cliche again.
Yeah. But, no, it's a good one, though.
That has also been something for me in the last couple years. And so I had a journey with that. and where I was kind of nervous and scared about doing some things, and I just put on a brave face and I was fine.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened. It wasn't life or death.
Just like you said, put on that brave face and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one, and until you live it, it's hard to really embody. Yeah. I like that one a lot. The last thing I want to talk about, and I feel like there's so many life lessons, but that we could continue to touch on, obviously, but these were just a few fun ones. It's how working out changes your life and truly is a life lesson. When you make a hard decision, it in turn makes your life easier, right?
Right.
And that goes like getting your butt up every day and going to the gym.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment. And when you do hard things, you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. And I think showing your body and taking care of yourself in turn changes your mind. And that's just, like, we all know it.
Right.
It's true, but it is a life lesson. And every single day you move your body and you make those hard decisions, you prove to yourself that you can make hard decisions. Hard decisions equals easy life. Easy decisions equals hard life.
Yeah.
Right?
Can't take the easy way.
Don't take the easy way.
That's right.
Not going to be easy long term. So think about those things that working out truly does teach you. I think it teaches you discipline. I think it teaches you mobility.
Ability to do the hard things.
And flexibility. Oh, I can't do this. How can I move into another way? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, with that, honestly, for me, that's what brought all this confidence and the changes that I've talked about.
Take care of yourself first. That's my last one. My last life lesson that I've learned, and I gotta credit my mom, of course, always crediting her. She always taught me, take care of yourself first. Always take care of yourself first. Because when you can take care of your mind, your body, your soul, then everything else will be a little bit easier.
But it's probably easier to take care of others once you've taken care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. Well, guys, we would love to hear your life lessons. I'm sure there are many that we have not touched on. Please DM us on Instagram. You can find us at I Got This Pod. Please give us 5-star review. Give us some feedback. And we will see you next Monday.
Sounds good. I got this.
I got this.
Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed what you heard, please go to wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star rating. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at I Got This Pod. See you next week. And remember, I got this.